We have a major update regarding Lauri Markkanen and the Oklahoma City Thunder, as it seems the Utah Jazz are not going to trade him, but instead work towards a contract extension. And even if they don't, it looks as though they're probably going to re-sign Lauri Markkanen and keep him on the squad for the next few years. And this is actually good news for the Thunder. I know a lot of the fans wanted him for a little bit. I wanted him for a little bit as well. After some of our free agent signings and trades that we had in the offseason, I kind of slipped away from Lauri Markkanen. I didn't think it was necessarily a need anymore on the team. It's definitely a fit, but I don't think it's a need anymore. I think it would harm us long term, especially when we went after him, got rid of a ton of draft picks like the Clippers did, re-sign him, and then get rid of our future just for this one guy to see if we can win a ring. I don't think it would necessarily be worth it. But after everything that's going on with Lauri Markkanen right now, as it seems he's off the trade market, they're going to figure out a contract extension for him at some point during the season or before the season starts as well. So it's definitely interesting to look at that, as it will just extremely help out the Thunder. It will. But before we get all that, though, I just want to take a quick moment, have a word from our sponsor of today's video. We all know that the Oklahoma City Thunder are one of the top defenses in the league, with players such as Chet Holmgren, Lu Dort, and now Alex Caruso on the squad. But are you looking to bring your own sort of defense and protection to your web browsing functions? You can now, thanks to the sponsor of today's video, NordVPN. A VPN, or a virtual private network, encrypts your IP address. So when you're out in public, let's say at a cafe or you're somewhere else, you're at your place of work and you're trying to watch a Thunder game and the stuff you enjoy, like Aaron Wiggins saving basketball, you don't have to worry about someone coming in and stealing your information while you're just trying to enjoy the little things in life, like I mentioned, Thunder basketball. NordVPN has you covered. If you go and use code Thunder, this is the link right here, nordvpn.com/Thunder. You can go ahead and get a discount on your first purchase of NordVPN. That way you feel safe while watching your Thunder games and the latest episodes here on Thunder Digest. NordVPN also comes with cool functions such as a kill switch that allows you to disconnect from a network immediately if NordVPN is to quit unexpectedly on you while you are searching the web. So why wait on adding top level defense to your squad, unlike the Oklahoma City Thunder that added Alex Caruso to the squad, and go to nordvpn.com/Thunder. That is nordvpn.com/Thunder to add some top level security and defense to your web browsing today. That way you feel even more safe when you watch Thunder games or Thunder Digest videos here on the channel. With that out of the way, thank you NordVPN for sponsoring today's video. Now we can go ahead and get into the topic at hand. Thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring today's video on Thunder Digest. With that out of the way, we can go ahead and get into the video and talk about Lauri Markkanen, what's going on with this right now, why it's good news for the Thunder that he's not going to be traded, with two reasons I'm going to bring up today in the article talking about what exactly is going on with him on ESPN. We're going to go ahead and cover that article right now, going into this by ESPN, written by Bobby Marks here. This is what he had to say. Utah has been willing to listen to offers on Markkanen since the transaction cycle leading up to the 2024 trade deadline this past February, but that doesn't mean it has been actively shopping its best player. The Jazz asking price for Markkanen has been high. They have no intention to compromise. To trade for Markkanen, a team will have to make an offer the Jazz can't refuse. Sources told ESPN the more likely scenario is the Jazz will use salary cap space to give Markkanen a significant raise while signing him to a contract extension. "We love to be here," Markkanen said when his contract was broached during his media exit interview at the end of last season. "I've said it multiple times, my family likes to be here." We're going to go ahead and go to the last part of the article here, just get it out of the way so I can tell you all why this is good news. And, you know, everyone keeps bringing up this August 6th date, and this is what's covering it here, why August 6th is so important. A player who signs an extension cannot be traded for 6 months, which makes the timing of a potential Markkanen extension of great interest around the league. If he signs it on August 6th, Markkanen can be moved on the day of the trade deadline. If he waits one day to sign, Markkanen can guarantee he won't be in the trade market this season. The August 6th date, when Markkanen is allowed to renegotiate and extend, is the reason Utah has operated its offseason like a team restricted by the rules of the collective bargaining agreements record second apron, and not one with $37 million in cap space. Since the start of July, the only players Utah has signed were 2024 first-round picks Cody Williams and Isaiah Collier. The Jazz drafted Kyle Filipowski in the second round and reportedly agreed to tracks with free agents Drew Eubanks and Johnny Juzang. Those 3 players remain unsigned, allowing Utah to reserve cap flexibility to renegotiate a new contract for Markkanen and also take back salary and a trade. Once cap space is used, the Jazz will then sign the 3 players, second round room, and early bird exception. So this is where it gets very interesting for the Utah Jazz, is all this stuff going on outside of Lauri Markkanen, the guys that they drafted, and Cody Williams and Isaiah Collier, Kyle Filipowski in the second round, and then the 2 other guys that they signed in free agency that they haven't necessarily written the contracts down. They've agreed. They're just waiting to see what's happening with Markkanen, and the Jazz will go all out pretty much in, like around the end of August there. Like tomorrow is a big day to look out for on August 6th, August 7th as well. So it's definitely interesting to keep our eyes on a contract that Lauri Markkanen can sign, because this does have implications for the Thunder, even if he does stay in Utah or if they do try to trade him somewhere else, because we don't want him to be traded to anyone else. That makes it tough, because some other contenders for Lauri Markkanen are San Antonio, Houston, and Golden State. Those are 3 teams that are constantly being talked about trading for Lauri Markkanen. We don't want him in Golden State. Golden State lost a lot. If they get Lauri Markkanen back in return, it does create a little bit of a, I don't want to say nightmare matchup, but it does make it tougher to beat the Warriors now that they lost Klay Thompson and they are getting older. We don't want him paired up with Wembanyama down in San Antonio. They would be an instant playoff team. I think they'd be like the 5th seed if they get Lauri Markkanen. When you add in Chris Paul with his court vision, passing to Victor Wembanyama, and the attention Wemby draws as well, is going to free up Lauri Markkanen to do what he wants. It would be the best it'd be the best 4 and 5 duo in the NBA, 100%. No matter what. Then Houston is a young rising team as well, with some veteran leadership on there like Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet. Add on Lauri Markkanen there as their true number 1 player. They could be I don't want to say play-in team anymore. I think they could finish as a 6 and 5. So I think any team that ends up getting him in the offseason, if they do trade for him, ends up being a guaranteed playoff team. They're not a play-in team. I think that's what happens. That's why we want the Jazz to re-sign Lauri Markkanen, extend him a little bit, give him a contract extension. Also, the picks are a big involvement as well. When you look at the picks that we have next year, okay, this is what we got going on. 2025 first rounder, unprotected swap rights with Clippers, or top 10 protected swap rights with Rockets. The Rockets, they have top 10 protected pick. Clippers, unprotected. We want the Clippers to be as bad as possible for sure, since it's unprotected. And if they do fall in the lottery, maybe they jump up to like 5 or 4 and we can get a really good piece to add on, or it has good trade value there. The Rockets, if they get Lauri Markkanen, then they're not going to be a lottery team anymore, and we'll definitely get that pick. We don't want him to go into Houston though, all right? And I think Houston will be a play-in team, and they can, make it as an 8 or 7 seed. So we could also, actually can't, it's a pick swap. So we wouldn't have that pick. Let's see what else here. 76ers, top 6 protected pick. It fails to convey, becomes a top 4 protected in 2026. So that's something to look out for. It will, convert to us as well, because they should be the 3 or 2 seed out in the East, realistically. 2025 first rounder via Heat, lottery protected. I think the Heat are a play-in team, and they've come in as a 7. They win their first game of the play-in tournament and automatically get that 7 seed bid. But you never know. And if it does fail, it converts to a 2026 unprotected first round pick. So that's a win-win scenario no matter what, when I look at it with the Heat, no matter what happens to them this season. And then the Jazz, top 10 protected pick. All right, if fails to convey, becomes top 8 protected 2026 first rounder. I think the Jazz will be a lottery team. I think they're still not going to be great, because it's just Lauri Markkanen there, and then everyone else that you have is trying to develop a little bit. So I think we won't get that pick, and it will convey to a top 8 protected in 2026. 2026 is when they make a play-in and potentially a playoff push as well, with their first-round picks this season developing a little bit, getting some time under their wing. Lauri Markkanen, if he's still on that team, developing more with Walker Kessler as well. Colin Sexton, you have Cody Williams as well. Isaiah Collier is not a guy that you can laugh at either. They have a great team over there that is young, that is building up. That's why I kind of want them to re-sign Lauri Markkanen, become a lottery team this year, and that pick gets converted into a 2026 top 8 protected pick, and I don't see them falling into the top 8 of the draft in 2026. With how they're supposed to progress, now injuries do happen, but in perfect world, they're a play-in team or they end up with the 13th or 14th pick in the NBA draft in 2026. That gives us more capital and, draft capital and trade capital as well. So we want the Jazz to, extend Lauri Markkanen because they're not competitors, not worried about those games against them at all. We can lock down Lauri Markkanen, then be fine. Colin Sexton can give you 20 points on occasion, Walker Kessler as well. But I think we match up very well against them no matter what, even if they keep Lauri Markkanen. Not worried about them at all. I just don't want to see Lauri on any other team besides the Jazz or Thunder. I don't really want to see him on the Thunder anymore as well, because we'd have to trade so much to get him, get rid of our future as well, 3-4 years down the line, and hope we can win one next season or in the next 2 or 3 years. And there's no guarantee about that because of injuries. But that's all I got for this video. Let me know what you guys personally think down in the comment section below. What you guys have, what your guys' thoughts are on this whole Lauri Markkanen situation going on. Is he staying in Utah or is he going to a new team? And let me know what team you think he's going to end up being on by the start of the season. That's all I got for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.